Coach. Welcome to this special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. And Charles, an NFC North matchup here, the so-called black and blue division.
Atta baby, show that age.
It's going to be a battle in 2019 as well. Who do you like out of this division?
Well, Chicago is a defending champion, and they play defense as well as anyone in the league, so you have to like their chances to repeat. Minnesota thought they were going to run the division, had a rough year. That's not normal Vikings football. They'll get back into the fray. Green Bay had such an underwhelming season last year. They changed coaches, but they still have number 12 throwing the football. And Detroit, they're on a crusade to eliminate bad football and get back to being the Lions that roar.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes Aaron Rodgers and his Green Bay Packers offense. And for Rodgers and company, a new head coach in town this season. Of course, under the previous administration, at least toward the end of that era, there were some questions about how they got along. Is this a good fresh start for Aaron Rodgers?
I think that it is. And Matt LaFleur as the new head coach, what a great opportunity to take over a team with a franchise quarterback. So watching them learn to coexist, watching them learn to meld, especially in the mind, that's going to be a lot of fun, I think, for Packer fans. I think it also gives Aaron Rodgers a little bit of rejuvenation. You know, you're hearing a different voice. You're doing things a little bit differently. He seems very optimistic about this season. This could be fun to see.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A big run there by Jones. 41 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Watch the slant.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
Durable and dependable, but also elite is left tackle David Bakhtiari. He's only missed 6 games in his NFL career. He protects Aaron Rodgers' blind side, and he does it so well. In 2018, named first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, this from 37. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Za'Darius Smith coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. He'll find his receiver, that's Chad Beebe. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cousins. He's got his rookie tight end, that's Irv Smith Jr. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Nice catch there by Irv Smith, and good to see him using his hands. Charles, did you get a chance to see Irv's helmet catch that made the rounds on the internet?
I didn't.
Well, you're going to have to look that one up. I mean, you have to see this. If you thought David Tyree's catch in the Super Bowl was a good one, yeah, wait till you get a glimpse of this.
And to think that I evaluated him coming out of Alabama strictly on his ability to catch the ball with his hands.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And this is up. And good to make it 7-3. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The football going to Green Bay here in just a second. And the Packers, well, they made a big move at wide receiver this offseason, bringing in a 4-time 1,000-yard receiver. But sadly for the Packer fans, it was just a one-day contract for Jordy Nelson, who wanted to retire a Packer. And why wouldn't he? Spent 10 years in the green and gold, better than 7,800 receiving yards, 5th most in franchise history.
I was looking at my boards to find that receiver.
Yeah,
who is that they brought in? How did I miss that news? But you're exactly right. Jordy Nelson, fan favorite, a quarterback favorite for Aaron Rodgers. And he had a nice final season in Oakland. Didn't go gently into the good night. 63 catches, a little over 700 yards. So still productive all the way through his career.
A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Minnesota's set to take over on offense, and if you're a Viking fan, you probably recognize that voice in the background. That is one Alan Roach, the PA announcer here in the stadium this year. You talk about having the golden pipes, my goodness. In addition to doing the Vikings, his childhood team, this guy's done Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, the draft, the Olympics, the World Cup, hockey, basketball, baseball. I mean, you name it, he's done it. We're certainly thrilled to have him as part of the broadcast packet.
Welcome, Alan. Great to have someone with the big voice along for the ride.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Cousins, and his throw is going to be incomplete. Tight end Herb Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Trevor Davis deep for Green Bay. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Rodgers now on 1st down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
On 1st down, Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, it's Jones, and the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's go.
little jet sweep to start the drive. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up.
Check back 50. And what's that? And what's the ball? Check your hot read.
11 yards there, first down.
Let's go, baby.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
What's tight? Tight is right. What's tight? Tight is right.
Now Cook running right. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Cousins now. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this one is right down the middle. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's been pretty effective so far, solid numbers yardage-wise, but the fumble last time, that's what he's thinking about. Has to be a little bit more secure.
Yeah, he does. Would you yell at him right here? Would you get on him?
No, I think you pick him up, don't you?
I agree with you totally. You pick him up in this situation because a lot of game left to be played, and he can be special with the ball in his hands. In that situation, he wasn't, but you talk to him about the 4 points of pressure, high and tight to the body, and let him go back to it.
Well, still plenty of time in this game, so he'll have opportunities to secure that ball with those 4 points of pressure. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage. Terrific
read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. They'll run it with Jones. And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Cousins now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. On play action, Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
I'm going back to you. Show it.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Wide open receiver complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To throw, Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. to the ground. Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Our eyes shift now to the Vikings defense. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective. But there's nothing like seeing it actually work on game day. What we're seeing here, wow, what a performance by them so far.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now a draw play. This is Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They start the drive with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get nothing out of that one. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
Let's go, D.
On third down, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. Rodgers now on first down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. To try again after the sack. Rodgers, that's caught by Geronimo Allison. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Adams. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
On first and 10, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver, as is Kamara. So this is going to be fun to watch. I can't wait to see those guys do their thing, but there are plenty of other guys out there too. If Zeke comes along, you got to take him. Melvin Gordon, if they both come to camp, we'll see how that works out. How about Todd Gurley and his health? Because, boy, when he touches the ball, great things usually happen.
And then wondering, someone like Le'Veon Bell took the year off, now a new offense. But if he starts going like he used to, he's obviously going to be a good one.
Fresh legs is what you're counting on with Le'Veon Bell and a fresh start in New York with the Jets. And if you're looking for an exciting rookie, remember this. Kyler Murray's going to get the ball from the first snap, and they're going to leave him in there throughout. And as long as he stays healthy, he's going to pitch it around the park a bunch. Don't be surprised if he gets a little love, too.
So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. They'll throw again. Cousins. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, and that'll bring up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, it's Cook. Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Cousins from the gun on third. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
In your face.
On play action. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, it's Jones. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
3rd and 6.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
Again, it's Jones. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return will stop right around the 25. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Good push up front, and then a run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tight left, tight left. You got three down.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards that time.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Cousins on 1st down. And Diggs has it.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, this is Madison. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Let's go.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The previous play is under review.
Cousins pass complete to number 19, Adam Thielen. Touchdown, Minnesota.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's polished off by a Vikings score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Here we go. Check.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Keep it up, guys.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Graham. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A throw caught by Kumaro. A very solid gain of 27. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by one more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Graham. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Check, 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 check.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Rodgers now to throw. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Throwing is Rodgers. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2.
Stop your whining.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Jumper.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.